Guys, welcome to another video. This video I'm going to focus on a well-used administration command on IBMi AS400 iSeries. The command we're going to focus on today is the command that we use to look at the system history log. So the system history log on an IBMi is called QHST, and the command that we use to display the history log is called DSPLOG. DSPLOG. So it's DSPLOG. At the moment, I'll just hit enter. As you can see here, we have a number of entries in the system history log. Basically, the system history log is what you'd expect to see in a history log. It's got basically anything that's run on the system, any issues, any jobs that have started and ended, as you can see on the screen. We use the history log regularly to troubleshoot issues on the system, to look back and see if there was an issue with a batch job, if there was an issue on the system over a weekend or something like that. You can one of the first port of calls would be to check the history log and see what happened, or what was going on at that time, or was there anything obscure running on the system. Once you're in the history log, you can page up and page down. Just use page up and page down. We can go to an individual entry then, and we can basically, I've explained this before in some of my videos. If you place the cursor over anything on an iSeries system and press F1, it will give you, in most cases on screens, it will give you help. In the history log, if you press F1, it will give you extended additional message information. So if I place my cursor over the first entry we have here, as you can see, it will give me additional message information. So it tells me that the time and date and stuff like that. That's not a good example. 1 second. So if we go to, we go to this job here. So I place my cursor on this job, this entry, and press F1. So it basically gives me the original message that was sent to the history log, the time and date, and the message ID, which is very important. I will go through another video explaining CPF messages and message IDs and message files at some point. Stay tuned for that. It also gives me a cause of the message. So it basically, this is the cause here. It's telling me that the job had an ending code of 0. Now in this case, a 0 encode means the job completed normally. If that job had an encode of 30, as we page down, you can see that job would have ended abnormally. Now return code 0 or encode 0 is generally a good thing on iSeries. So if you see encode 0, you know, everything's worked as planned. If you see an encode 30, you got to worry a little bit and go, I got to do some troubleshooting here, and I need to figure out what went wrong. There's various other encodes that give you the status of a job. We'll go through that again at some point when we get into jobs and scheduling and stuff like that. The other thing you can do, I'll just go to another message. So I hit return there to get back to the history log. So here's an interesting one. Serious storage condition may exist. So this message in the history log is basically telling me, okay, your storage is reaching capacity, or it's basically, you can set a threshold for storage on the iSeries. So you can set a warning message. Again, I'll do a video to show you how to do that. You can set a warning message to basically say, okay, if my disk usage reaches a certain threshold, alert me. So on this system, I have the threshold set to 90% usage. So once the storage usage reaches 90%, I'll start seeing these warning messages telling me, okay, your storage is reaching 90%, you need to address it. So again, I'll place the cursor over this message, I press F1, I get the original message that was in the history log, the cause of the message. So this is basically telling me, like I said, my threshold is 90% usage, and it's currently using over that capacity. So at the moment I have only 9.1% of system ASP left, or of, sorry, not system ASP, sorry, of ASP1 left. Again, I'll do a video on storage at some point. So this command is basically telling me, yeah, you got a, or this message is telling me that I've got a storage condition. This is the cause. Now this is very useful. This is the recovery options. So this is saying, okay, this is the problem, and these are possible recovery steps. So it's worthwhile looking through the history log if you've got a problem and pinpointing messages and having a look, and it'll give you an idea what issues are on the system and possible methods to recover from those issues or what needs to be done. So it's quite useful. It's a command that's used quite a lot. I use it every day when performing system administration tasks. Now I'm just going to hit return, and I'm going to go back out of the history log. So DSPLOG command again. This time I'm going to prompt it using F4. Now I think I've explained this a few times. When you type an iSeries command, you generally use F4 to prompt a command to specify additional parameters to pass to that command. So as a general rule of thumb, I'd advise that if you're administering an IBMi AS400 iSeries system, always use F4 when typing commands on the command line, particularly if you've got a high level of access, because it prevents you from running something you shouldn't have run, or basically kind of double checking before you run any command on the system. So I'm going to do an F4 to prompt the DSPLOG command. This will give me additional parameters for that command, which we'll run through. So the log we're looking at is QHST. Now in here I can specify times and dates to show me the log for. So I can say, okay, I want to view the QHST history log for the system, but show me the entries between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. today. So if I hit return on that command, it will display all entries in the system history log between 1 and 3 p.m. on the current system date. So as you can see, current is set here as the current system date. So I'll get all entries from between 1 and 3 today. If I'm trying to pinpoint, you know, something that's happened around a specific time, this is very flexible. I can say, okay, show me all available. I'll just change this to avail. Show me all available history log entries between a specific date period. So say I wanted to see everything that was in the history log between the 20th of June and the 25th of June. I can just basically specify a date. The command will then come back and the display will come back and show me all history log entries between the 20th of June and the 25th of June. Note that this time format might be different on your system. It doesn't. This is the time format that's set on my system at the moment. Again, I'll show you how that's done. So yeah, I can basically view the history log for specific times and dates. What we can do then is you can specify an output for this command. So generally an asterisk or a star or a splat, whatever you want to call it. A splat output would mean show it to me on the screen, show it to me on my session. There's other options here like print, so I can, if I say star print here, it will print it to a spool file, so then it will create a spool file on the system that I can retain. So I can retain that spool file for a later date, or I can copy that spool file to a database file. There's various other things I can do. Again, I'll run through some of these things in later videos. Now, while we're in this command, I'm just going to do an F10. So F4 and then F10. Now, so I've got a date. Okay. Yeah, with page 10 after hitting F10, and I can specify specific jobs to show me in the history log. So I can say, okay, show me all jobs between this time and this date for this user, for this job number. So I can say, show me all messages for Joe Blogs, or show me all jobs with job number, yada yada, whatever the job number is. I can say, show me all jobs with a message identifier. So again, this is going into CPF messages or other messages. Again, we'll be doing a video on that soon. CPF messages on the system basically indicate that they've got all messages on the system have a message ID. So there's a message ID for start and end times. There's message IDs for jobs ending abnormally. There's message IDs for everything, security issues. So I can say, show me all jobs, show me all entries in the history log for specific dates, specific times. Show me all jobs or show me all entries in the history log for specific users, for specific job numbers, or show me all entries in the history log with a specific message identifier, message ID. So I can say, okay, show me all jobs with message ID CPF 1123, CPF 1164. Again, I'll explain how, the message IDs in a later video. So that's basically the DSPLOG command. If you have any questions or comments, please shoot. This is a general overview. There'll be more videos to follow. I'll get deeper into some of these options and more kind of advanced ways to use these commands and what we can do with them. But at the moment, DSPLOG is a very useful tool for viewing the history log on an IBMi iSeries AS400 system. If you want to get in contact with me, leave a comment on the video or shoot over on my blog and give me a shout. If there's any specific video you'd like to see, if there's anything you'd like to know about IBMi iSeries AS400, let me know and I'll try and do a video for it. I'll talk to you guys soon.